What is up, guys? Welcome to a stream of Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. I do apologize about the lateness of this stream. I've been playing D&D today, which means this is going to be a very, very short, an hour long or so Divinity. I do apologize about that, but I don't really have much control. To be fair, I would have started this a lot earlier, but I was talking to a friend after D&D, and well, you talk to friends when they're there. So we've got a Source King chest that we can't open. Lockpick level 40, so there must have been a key that I missed for that.
The Lady of Time, the Weaver of History. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, sir.
Right, back to Northgate. I don't know if we've sold everything or not yet, but I should have a look-see. We did, yes. Right, so we learned a little bit more about the story, and we need to go to Silverglean. Kind of want to go back to... I'm going to quickly go check the Source King place again, because, Old Church. Because I feel like I've missed something. Let's get going. I'm just going to make sure we haven't missed anything in there, because I feel like I should have had the key to that chest, because 40 lockpicking's going to... I don't know if we're ever going to obtain that. I mean, we're at 6 right now, which is pretty high, but... We also spotted something out here, I just don't know what it is. Like, apparently, like, I spotted something here, and I just don't know for the life of me what it was. But that doesn't matter right now. Go to Brachus Rex and his corpse and see if I've missed something. It wasn't a very big room, so if I miss something, it should be easy to find. So there's Phaleron's dead corpse. Sounds like a him problem. Brachus Rep's corpse. Need to mute my fucking phone. Oh, fuck, actually, one that's one. An inert stone. Nope, not there. I don't know if that lock has any... I know that the lock was the lock of it. That's apparently a door. Okay, there we go. Fucking hell, I don't know what the fuck I'd done there, but I'd done something. Got myself a little bit stuck. Oh, wow, I didn't loot this. Or this one, apparently. I'm kind of... Oh, I didn't loot these out. What the fuck? I must have been fucking tired if I hadn't looted them. Nothing there. Well, I'll take the inert stone. It doesn't seem to be doing it. It doesn't seem to unlock anything. There's a little bit of loot here that I missed. Well, this all was covered in poison, so, you know, the missing loot over there wasn't exactly going to be hard for me. Yeah, I don't know if we've missed it. We've missed it, or if we blew it up or anything like that. That's what's happened to it. A shame, but let's just get on our way and get out of here. We don't have much time today, so I'm gonna take things pretty slow.
Hail, Source Hunter. Good to see you've reached Lacula Forest. There were times when I came to this neck of the woods just to whiff its wholesome air. Alas, that it is thick with sorcery these days.
Oh, fuck off, I'm having hiccups. Sorcery abounds, does it?
It surrounds us here, like an invisible mist. Takes cat's eyes to see it creep. Even so, it's plain as day to the east, all about Ikara's cabin. Immaculates beset it, no doubt under Leandra's orders. If she has ordered such thorough defenses of her sister's cabin, we may be certain that whatever lies within will be a prize more precious than butter-baked plaice. That means Ikara herself must be there, Hunter. And it is essential that you find her. Only she can shed light on the details of Leandra's plans.
I thank you for your counsel. High time to mosey on.
Ha! Zigzags would see you dash rather than mosey. But matters such as these require a thoughtful approach. Leandra and her cronies may be lunatics all, but they're far from brainless. So be wary, Hunter, and be safe.
I did not realize I was playing a Scarlet. There we go, playing as the real OG here. Find the witch. The entrance is was this way, wasn't it? Yeah, was this. So this is the entrance. So got witch's cabin, and so I'm gonna go to Silver Glen first. I think that makes the most sense.
Poor man. Seems he was eaten by a beast.
Well, partially eaten, to be more precise.
Are you going to be like that, Scarlet? Are you going to be like that?
Don't look at me like that. Not as though I'm enjoying this.
Let's go see. Like, Silvergleam could have some quests for us, which is the reason I'm going there first. You never know what good shit he could have. Though I'm pretty sure...
In the name of the goddess, halt. Who goes there?
Naught but a wanderer.
A wanderer, you say? A lost sheep, perhaps, that has found its flock. The stable of Immaculates.
What is this place?
Why, it's Silver Glen, of course. Once the abode of miners, now the abode of the faithful.
Okay.
We have traded the search for silver for the pursuit of divinity. I'm sure this sounds strange in what a stranger's ears, but you must know that but a short while ago a frightful sickness felled us by the dozen, until she who speaks for the goddess brought us a cure.
Okay.
She showed us how we may overcome the frailty and even the decrepitude of our mortal bodies. That is why we now live a life of devoutness and civility, so that we may become immaculate. But I suggest you talk to Father Loic if you want to learn more about the ways of the goddess. Be welcome, therefore, to Silver Glen. Blessed be all Immaculates.
Okay.
The world is not immaculate as yet, friend. Be wary. Be vigilant.
There's something fishy about this place.
The degenerates here claim they have been cleansed. But I can still smell the stink of persisting putrescence wafting from their grimy flesh. Silver Glen. This place sickens me.
See no evidence of sickness about me. Why take it to heart so?
As you know, I once carried the burden of disease upon emaciated shoulders. Perhaps I had better explain in greater detail.
Tell me more about your history, Jehan, if you please.
By all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale.
I start at the beginning.
Once upon a
Oh,
time,
no, read
I was
that.
a young...
Yep.
I knew my... And so I... But then one day... Iraq.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside, but none of their
Read that.
potions
So
took
please tell me how you managed to cure yourself from the malady that
their
affected you.
salves. It went like this, Hunter. If a ghoul I had become, so a dark turn of thought convinced me. A ghoul's methods I should employ to escape the labyrinthian crypt of corporeal corruption. A necromancer I'd be. Yes, only from deep within the deliriums of death would I tunnel my way back into the gardens of life. I did unspeakable things in the dusky dungeons that twist like forgotten veins to long-deceased organs far beneath my castle's sunlit halls. Halls which held my throne and held the bed upon which Heracus slept. her very touch blessing the satin she reposed upon. Still there came no relief. Perversions I created in scores, but they were mere undead all. Creatures so piteous that the thought of cheating death in their guise frightened me more than the swing of the scythe itself. Like mosquitoes in the night, panic and despair beset me until I turned to that darkest of all arts, demonology.
So you, of all people, turned to demonology?
It had to be. There was no other way. I could feel the life slipping out of me like love out of a betrayed spouse's heart. So I studied tomes so old the dust that fell from their centuries' unperused pages never knew the light of the stars that now shine. I drew forbidden symbols. I spoke unhallowed words, and from the smoke that rose like a dragon's last breath, a demon appeared to me and said, "Ask, O blighted king, and you shall have." "Just tell me," I cried. "Tell me what ails me."
You asked the demon what ailed you. What was its answer?
Hiraka. Never had I known a single word can cut deeper than the sharpest of daggers. With maddening glee, the demon told me she was one of his kin. A soul-swallowing horror that had been feeding on both my body and my spirit like a leech. An ancient being was she, that moved from king to king throughout the ages, filling their hearts with love, then draining them of life. After such revelations, does one truly desire to live on? Death seemed like a mother then, welcoming me with her all will be well embrace. Yet still I feared exceedingly her seemingly sweet caress, and the oblivion that would follow. Release me from her, demon, and give me back the strength of a sick, free existence. So went my desperate plea. It smiled, of course it did. Smiled bare 100 razors as its eyes came alight with infernal fire. 1,000 years I will give you, it whispered. But then your soul shall be mine to incarcerate in the depths of hellish nemesis. As for your throne, that I'll have now. What say you, O brittle king? Do you accept my terms?
So tell me, Jehan, did you accept the demon's terms?
I think you know the answer to that question, Hunter. But I've said enough for now. These memories are painful to recollect. So let us turn to the rest of them later.
I'll take my leave then.
Well, well, well. So our very own demon hunter once dabbled in the so-called darkest of arts himself.
A man so utterly betrayed and dying will grasp at any straw. I can hardly blame him.
Neither can I. Clearly his great love was almost the very death of him. She broke his heart in more ways than one, and I too would go to any length to repair it.
I'm considerate. That's an insult. How dare you? Take it back. Alright, start by robbing Silver Glen of all its random loot. Now, if you say I can't take it, I won't take it. But if you give me the choice, it's going. It's mine. End of arc. End of discussion.
Across a broken bridge. Ridiculous.
That's why I like Divinity Original Sin 2. Because there's a lot of stuff you just can't take, and it makes me want to take it more, but I don't.
It'll slice us to ribbons if we approach the bridge.
Unacceptable. I want those goblins out of my mind by yesterday. Send another man. As many as it takes.
We haven't enough men among us to take on even a few of them, sir.
Are you deaf? I said I want those goblins out.
Ooh.
Make it happen. Even if you have
I
to
want those.
spear Drexis yourself.
Source hunter, are you? What brings you to this neck of the woods? The goblins? The orcs? The cult? Or the whole pretty bouquet?
Oh, tell me about yourself.
Don't be surprised if you hear more than a few unkind words about yours truly around town. An overseer's got to enforce his share of unpopular guild decisions, you know. I'm finished with this one-pony rodeo, though. I did my best by these roughnecks, and now it's time for old Brandon to take a load off. In fact, you may be able to help speed my retirement plan along.
Well, let's see the details.
I must say, I'm also intrigued.
I knew a source hunter'd perk up at the sound of a challenge.
So let's discuss your retirement plan.
Between you and me, the Troll King's sitting on a piece of treasure of more value than even he knows. A metal called tenebrium that can fetch a prettier sum than its weight in gold. I intend to lift it, sell it, and live out the rest of me days in comfort. The devil's in the details, though, and I haven't managed to find a way to access the King's Cave, much less make off with the stuff without being noticed. But you're a source hunter. You can sniff out any point of mystery. So let's make a deal, You find the tenebrium and bring it to me, and I'll deliver you a few pieces of information about Silverglen, and Lawrence in particular, that are sure to make your mouth water. I wouldn't wish the wrath on me worst enemy, though. So let me give you a little something to contain the tenebrium bars. It's lined with the fragments of a special stone that keeps rats' ill effects at bay.
So tell me about the Troll King.
Apart from Gungir's stature and incurable case of the uglies, he's not so different from a parakeet. Got a brain the size of a pea and a fervent passion for all things bright and shiny. The nutty oaf sits on a river of silver beneath these mines, but leases it to the mining company for a fraction of its worth in gold. He'd rather put those hefty minions of his on toll duty than mine these hills himself for 5 times the reward. I can't be certain myself where his cave is located, but at least one of those oaf lackeys of his must know where to look. They've got to do something with all the gold they've gathered in the course of guarding those damn bridges, haven't they?
I'd like to ask you some further questions.
I'm no man to refuse a source hunter. Ask away, friend.
Can you tell me about tenebrium?
A strange sort of substance, discovered here around 2 years ago, and folks have been clamouring to get their paws on the rancid stuff ever since. To the right buyer, it's worth more than diamonds.
A source hunter! My liege, I am at your disposal. I am Lawrence, the representative of the mining guild responsible for operations in Silverglen. Please, valiant hunter, let us know how we can assist you.
Tell me about yourself.
Still includes you.
Oh, I am no one special. Merely a humble servant of the guild and shepherd to the happy flock of miners within this settlement. My only cause for complaint, Your Grace, are these awful goblins. They're starving us out, refusing even a single honest miner his right to work. Perhaps, my most upright highness, you might be able to help us with this little problem.
Let's discuss your troubles in the mines.
You must forgive me if I become somewhat overcome when discussing it, my liege. To think how I've been betrayed. To think how the humble miners of Silverglen suffer. I invited a tribe of goblins to assist us in clearing the tenebrium from our mine, you see. The leader of the troop, a Saturn-spitting Satan named Drexis, promised to clear the tenebrium and be gone. When the job was done, though, he and his band of totem-brained fiends refused to vacate. They've kept close guard of the bridges to the mine since, and they'll slice whoever dares approach them into ribbons. These goblins follow Drexis like lemmings, Your Grace, and if only I could undo the traitor, they'd slither back to the swamp they crawled from. Drexis's head on my mantle would save countless miners from a slow starvation, my liege. What's one goblin over countless disenfranchised workers?
I'd like to ask you some further questions.
Please, Your Grace, I am completely at your disposal.
Tell me about the goblins.
Those brutes, I invited them here to save our valued miners from the ill effects of clearing Tenebrium, and those interlopers met my invitation with a hostile takeover. They haven't allowed a single human miner past them in months, and meanwhile my men have all but forgotten their vocation and turned instead to their damned religion.
So what can you tell me about Tenebrium?
Useless stuff, my liege. Worse than common dirt. But 10 times as difficult to extract and infinitely more dangerous. If only we'd known in advance the terrible effect rot would have, we would have stopped trying to clear it immediately.
So what is rot exactly?
Yes, a dreadful business that. I've been fortunate enough to avoid the sickness so far, my liege, but my heart truly breaks for the families of those who've been afflicted. You see, my liege, when a miner has been overlong exposed to Tenebrium, he begins showing certain symptoms. Gangrene about the extremities, fatigue, malaise. At first, we attributed these symptoms to, well, to poor diet, laziness, and general malingering. Had we known then what we've since discovered, we never would have continued operations. But alas, mistakes were made, and those we lost can never be brought back, no matter what that crackpot conduit would have one believe.
A conduit? Can you care to tell me more?
My liege, you ought not to concern yourself with the fraudulent leader of a crackpot cult. Really, the whole affair is an utter embarrassment to Silver Glen. Some insane huckster calling herself the conduit of the goddess made her way to Silver Glen at the height of the rot's hold on our miners. The people were desperate, you see. When by magic or illusion she managed to cure a handful of them of the affliction, every last one of the bunch began speaking of her as though she were some messiah. Now most of the town is taken with her little cult of immaculates, as she calls them. Fortunately for her, she disappeared shortly after her little trick. Or I would have thrown her into prison and swallowed the key myself. Imagine hypnotizing an entire town with nothing more than snake oil.
So what do you know about the Immaculates?
Enough to know the whole institution has been a blight on productivity. With the blessings of the conduit to replace a sense of a job well done, the miners care hardly at all for getting the mines back in good working order.
I'll take my leave. I just don't give this guy any reason to think I'm stealing, and we're all good. That hunting bow is good, but it's +8. Whoa, it's a level 18 bow, so let's ignore that. Take the gold.
I don't mean to make trouble where there ain't any, comrade, but in my years of hunting source, I learned that anyone so eager to climb into your lap after a moment's meeting is hiding something they hope you won't discover. I'm not saying this Lawrence character is involved in sorcery, but it wouldn't exactly surprise me a lick to find out he knows more than he's letting on.
I thought the same. His fawning is more like a symptom of fear than of respect.
Warms my heart to picture him squirming about plain as day with 3 seasoned source hunters on his tail. Nowhere to hide, snivel, and mug than at the bottom of a burlap sack.
So Scarlet said, "Have no fear. We'll cut the tall grass soon enough, and then this snake will have nowhere to hide." I'm gonna leave before he realizes I've robbed him. I definitely sent that to the wrong person. Fuck! There we go. Is that better than your current one? Yes, it is. No, it's not, because it doesn't provide strength. But that's Brachus Rex's weapon, and I think you deserve to wield Brachus Rex's weapon for a while. So what's this? We've done the Undead Scourge.
Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
Not today, Ramon.
That world-weary face is giving me shivers. What you say we take a load off together? I do suppose I could find some way to entertain you.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
No, sugar. That's a story for another day, ain't it? Speaking of, yours and mine has hardly begun. What say we get better acquainted upstairs? I've got all kinds of, details to share with you.
So you have a bedroom at the ready?
Indeed I do. And I'm just itching to take you places you've only ever dreamed of, darling. What's a lousy 250 gold between an adventurer like you and a fine piece of tale like the one I've got in store for you?
Well, it's a RPG. You have to do it. Go on then.
Oh, that's the spirit, sugar. Oh, gold always puts me in the mood for a little romance. Follow me then, my knight in shining armor.
And this is where I get stabbed to death. Or a metric shits in the...
Anyway. Swelling knots.
I was gonna say, or like, you know, we turn up with all four of us and she's suddenly like, nope. Did not agree to a fivesome. Let me guess. The first room. No. Okay, so she's not gonna blow me up.
God, the fuse is getting shorter. Stop it! Freezing!
Stop talking! Now you there! Back off! Bicky boom! One more step and Bicky boom!
No, don't go! Please help me! That thing is keeping me trapped here! It's crazy! It'll kill me!
Yeah, calm down. We're not coming any close. Let's just talk about this.
Yes, don't worry, miss. We'll get you out of this fix somehow.
Princess keep her trap shut or Bicky boom! No folks, shoo or Bicky boom! Last warning or Bicky boom!
Just gonna quickly quick save.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! You saved my life! It was that cur of a Frederick that did this to me. He locked me in here with that ridiculous creature.
Dear me, I need to get out of this room. Yes, I'll go downstairs to catch a breath of fresh air, but do come and talk to me again if you want to hear more about what transpired here. My thanks once more, sweet hero.
Alright, here we go.
There you are, darling. Shall we get started then?
Let's get it on.
So we shall, sugar. But do please ask your friend over there to give us a bit of privacy first.
Get out. No, Jehan. Out.
There you are. Let's do it. But first, I need to know about your preferences, darling. You're in charge tonight, after all. So tell me, which sort best floats your boat? A savage, merciless witch? Or a gentle, sensuous nymph?
Oh, pleasant nymph, do whisk me away to your grassy glens.
In need of a gentle hand, are you? Well, I've just the soft and sumptuous knoll in mind for you to rest your weary heads. Why don't we make ourselves comfortable and begin? Once upon a time, the patron goddess of feasting took a fancy to the humble spirit of insatiability. Of their union,
I feel like I've been fucking hoodwinked here.
Clydella was born. The child of parents so expert in flavour and quantity, Clydella's calling was clear. A master cook she became, the finest from Grandin Gulch to Wimpet Willow. Queens and sultans trembled before her crow's egg crumble. Dukes shed salty, toxic tears upon her sugared lion's wing. Clydella's cooking was beloved, yes, but to none so much as Clydella. Feasts she'd make and feasts she'd eat, licking up 3 wedding hams in the time it took to count them. More she craved, and more, till her clients had little more than crumbs to offer their guests. They'd wail and moan, but Clydella never quite heard them over the sound of her soup slurping. They stormed her kitchen, spittle flying, demanding dove roast, parsnip pudding, and pureed warg. But Clydella merely gazed upon them, blithely chewing jerky, and shrugged. Clydella's fame declined as the royals made deals with devils to find feasts as tasty as hers. But she never noticed one way or another. A nymph in her kitchen, frying and feasting was all she'd ever needed to be. Well, that's the end, darling. I hope it was everything you dreamt of and more. I know I had myself a bang-up time.
Yep, I feel cheated. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Yep, just gonna... I don't actually need to be fucking hiding when I'm robbing here, because there's no one else here. Ooh, a moonstone. Is that the same as a starstone? No, okay. It's the fucking shitty beat up place,
Ready
isn't
to
it?
advance. Ready.
Well, that was definitely a massive waste of like 250 gold, but sometimes, you know, in RPGs you just have to do it. And seeing as no one's up here, we can just take whatever the fuck I want without really having to give a shit. Which I guess makes life a little bit easier because you can just take anything. Let's go downstairs. So that woman we saved, where is she? There she is. Let's go sit down on the same bench as there and talk to her.
Oh, my hero! My heart is still racing. That little monster's face haunts me every time I so much as blink.
Tell me about yourself.
Bonnie's my name, and I am, or rather I was, a lover for hire. Folks would come to me when they were in need of some company, conversation, and more intimate desires. But this fiasco has put an end to it. I'll never set another foot into a client's room, not on my life.
So let's discuss this Frederick fellow.
Yes?
Why would he lock you in a room with a bomb?
Search me. He's a regular of mine. With rather eccentric tastes, I might add. He always wants me to wear a grey wig, for example, and walk with a cane. But I digress. Anyway, he recently spent the night again, and I couldn't sleep because of his muttering. He talked something awful all through the night. In the morning, I told him he had gone on and on about some Maradino character and a supposedly secret treasure lair somewhere in the woods. Next thing I knew, he flew into a rage. Said the treasure was his and his alone, and that I was nothing but a meddling care. I was just about to let him know I won't stand for such language when he pulled that monster of a bicky out of his satchel and told the little gnome to guard the princess and to go boom if I tried to escape. I spent hours of horrid fear up in that room until you saved me.
Well, what can you tell me about yourself?
Nothing much, I'm afraid, but go ahead. I'll answer what I can.
Do you like it here in Silverglen?
I used to, you know. Merchants came and went. They paid well and gave me gifts. Fewer and fewer of them travel here now because of the undead around Seal and the goblins holed up in the mines. Times are hard for a working girl, to tell you the truth. But where would I go? There's danger to be found everywhere these days. These bedeviled days.
So I suppose you're not immaculate?
I haven't been immaculate for a long time now, darling. And if I see what passes for immaculate here in town, I don't want to join the club anew either. Give me fun, not fanaticism. Give me zeal, not zealotry. These people, I honestly don't know what has gotten into them.
I'll take my leave then. So let's just talk to all the named characters we can.
Ah, Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer ya? Blessed by the goddess they are, each and all.
Ooh, summon a dead warrior. I kind of want that. It gets rid of my initiative, but I kind of like the idea of it. First things first, though, can I even make up enough money to get it? That would be a big ass no. I do like the idea of summoning a dead warrior though, so I'm gonna think of ways. So what can I get rid of? You know what? At the moment, we don't need to spend our money stupidly. Ooh, and that's the Blitz Bolt. +1 Lawmaster. You know what? Fuck your perception, because I want to give her Blitz Bolt as well. She knows so many fucking random skills now.
Oh, dear. You'll hardly impress the conduit with such a clouded look about your eyes. But not to fear. I've just the potion for that.
That's 2 of these shop people.
Oh, you startled me. Let me compose myself. Hello, stranger. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about yourself?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm just the waitress around here, as you can see. My husband, Blossius, is a legionnaire currently stationed in Sicil, but I haven't heard from him in far too long.
About your husband, I have here his will.
Will? But that means he's... Oh, no. Oh, not my cutie, broody buttercup.
Well, I told her. That's all I needed to do. Let's go talk to the barman.
Enjoying your stay in Silver Glen, I trust?
You're a barman who doesn't really have anything to talk about. That's a very, very bad trait for a fucking barman.
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that.
So he does that.
That's where you go in. These beauties will pierce you to the bone. So, do you fancy a trade then? Come now, before my ale arrives.
On Hiver. Well, this would be the guy with all the armor. And the really good grenades that I want. You know, I don't want those because they're expensive and I have 5. Ooh, another named person. We've got to talk to them all.
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Well, we found the rogue. Okay, so that's... So all the shops are in here. That's actually pretty cool. You know, it makes life a little bit easier.
You brighten my day. I'd have a galaxy in my hand. You must be a prize fighter. One look at you, and I'm knocked out.
And who might you be?
Me? I'm Ramon. I may not be a genie, but rub me right and I'll make your dreams come true.
Okay, they're sex workers. Good to know.
Over here,
Where the wind blows, the goddess breathes. Where the rivers run, the goddess weeps. How can I connect you to our eternal goddess, my friend?
You can't at the moment, thanks.
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my savvy brings you spells at the best rate in town. Come, give me your best offer.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need you. Don't need you. I'll take that for the rest. So this is pretty. Yeah, this is pretty much the shops are the what's it called? The bar. Let's go this way and see if there's anything else in this town or the village. I'd say this is definitely a village more than anything. What's this? EJ as well. Yeah, we would.
Over here, Hunter. It's me, Ahu. Source Hunter. You've made it into the hamlet of Silverglen, I see. Unnerving spot, don't you find? Leandra has fashioned herself a hero here, but the townsfolk don't seem to know the truth behind the conduit, though they call themselves Immaculates.
What do you make of these Immaculates?
They're thick as trout, if you ask me, and unnaturally obsessed with ancient teachings. I haven't seen Leandra here myself, but she must have put on quite a show of magical mastery to enthrall a crowd of shaggy miners, to have them hop on the bandwagon of a shadowy religion wholly alien to them.
Which ancient teachings do you mean?
Haven't you heard them whisper of the blood? How their eyes shine when they discuss certain stellar stones? Star stones, of course, which drenched in blood become bloodstones and are used in healing rituals. Now, I can see how it could be a fantastic thing to nurse a dying human back to health, if all it takes is to sacrifice a toad. But I spy bloodlust in these people's eyes. A bloodlust that goes beyond the usual meaning of the word. They all act like they're following a benign goddess that will lead them to paradise. But I'll be a dappled Dalmatian if any of that is true.
So since you've been scouting the place, perhaps you can tell me where I should start looking for shady goings-on?
I've been shadowing the local priest, a man by the name of Loic. I have the feeling he knows more than most in Silverglen, for I've followed him in the night when he meets with cloaked strangers, and goblins even. Mangoth, Hyberheim. Of strange things I've heard him whisper. Yes, this priest has shady goings-on written all over that smug, holier-than-thou face of his. But we must start at the beginning, Source Hunter. The White Witch is still at large. If we want to get to the true heart of Leandra's doings, we must start with her sister. And she's far likelier to be in her cabin among the trees than here among Leandra's followers.
So why are you walking about Silverglen in your cat form?
The advantage of being a puss, my friend, is that one can pussyfoot. A white-haired wizard draws attention, but a cat can move about unnoticed and, indeed, unseen. Not that I'm not extra wary of these bloodsuckers, though. There's a conspicuous absence of pets in this eerie little town.
I'll take my leave.
The Immaculate's presence here is highly disconcerting. But we mustn't lose sight of our mission, Source Hunter. The White Witch resides somewhere in the wilds of the surrounding forest, and we must find her.
I will do. Just got more important things to do right now. Like, you know, stay here. Yeah, we've got those. Right.
Welcome be, O seeking souls, to this holy house of Immaculates.
The strength, O goddess, to become enlightened.
Oh, immune to burning. That's really fucking cool. Who are you?
I am Loic, enlightened one among Immaculates, spokesman for the holy conduit, as she is spokesman for the goddess herself. Hers is the blood.
I'd like to ask you some questions about the Immaculates.
Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them.
Who are the Immaculates? And I want to go down there.
We are the chosen ones of the goddess.
The benedictions of the blood render our bodies and spirits unblemished, for such is her mercy, that we may all become part of the sacred soul. And you too, Seeker, could become one such part.
Can you tell me more about the conduit?
The conduit, yes. She, the most exalted of all, second only to the goddess. It was she who brought us first her divine words, then her divine will, a will made real in blood. Truly, though, she is quite beyond your concern, O wandering soul. She stands so very high above your humble station.
I'd like to hear about the goddess.
The goddess is the light and life of all. Corrupt is the world that generations of men and beasts have left behind, but immaculate it may be once more, cleansed in the blood of the unworthy. The few, the proud, the enlightened, theirs will be her kingdom. When red has run until no red is left, a paradise we will have shapen, and the goddess will dwell among us.
Let's change the subject. I'll take my leave. Fucking creepy motherfucker. And there's a ooh. Okay, yeah, let's do a quick save.
Diligently will I read
Let
the
me
words
spill
of the
blood
goddess.
For thee, O Holy One!
Okay, sneaking's not working. I think that's all of the, yeah, that's all. Oh, there's the teleport up here. Let's go make sure we get that. Can't be going without our waypoints right now, can we?
May the goddess guide you through the forest and keep you safe.
Right. So I'm gonna take this little way. I'm gonna take this way back to the thing.
I think there are hidden foes ahead.
That's fine. We'll just keep walking. Yeah, I'm hoping there are hidden. Oh, for fuck's sake! Will you stop getting yourself poisoned? I don't have anything that can heal poison. See, they're not hidden. You're just being paranoid. I want to see what this does. Oh, I can't wait.
Flashbang!
Oh, it's literally a flashbang. Know how I typically use a flashbang, but I like it. Good, we can hit with that spell. Good, good, good. Frozen, I like it. Move forward. Fuck you. And fuck you. Stop blessing your allies, that's cheating. What do they do then? Got a Molotov them.
The Pyromaniac's pal!
Well, I did fuck that tree up, but that's okay. Fuck you, Mr. Earth Elemental.
Of justice.
Freeze this one. I say freezing that one back there ain't gonna do me any good. Damn it, too far. Still too far, unfortunately. Fuck. No, you cunt. I'm immune to poison, so fighting these is actually not that bad for me. They just do a lot of damage. Sweet, so I have to move any closer to get rid of this guy. Come here to try and mitigate some damage. Fuck you. Sweet. I can shoot at you. Then move forward. Medora!
The grave opens to welcome you.
Ooh, a polished longbow. That must have been what was in the tree. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can't really move any closer. Can lob this though, and it should work. Yeah, I keep forgetting this doesn't work the same as it does in the what's it called? In Divinity 2.
The time of your death is at hand.
Trust you guys get fucking poisoned. Yeah, you going there is probably going to be useful if you winged feet it. You're immune to poison, so that poisoning. Heal him again, because that's I fucked up a little bit there. Wait, how am I burning? He's hovering. If you could see it, you'd be able to help. Right. Nah, fuck it, just walk here. Heal yourself up there, Medora. Make sure we take all this loot quickly as possible. I didn't want it to burn to death, you know.
Stitch of time, hey, my friends?
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say that's a good fight for this session, so you know I don't feel too bad about not getting any fighting done. The Adventurer's Field Guide. Rivellonian moonstone is a pretty tough piece of rock. If the jewelers don't want them, sell them to the local smiths. They can use big, uneven pieces to fortify their clubs and maces, though I never did get the hang of it myself. I'll just make sure we get a save and shit. I should probably make sure you guys are all healed up. It has a fucking long cooldown on it, even when at combat.
Sweet relief.
We have a lot of health. And weirdly enough, I'd like to keep all of my health. Their blood is impure. That is definitely a fucking cult. Pretty damn good one, to be fair. You know, in the way it's indoctrinating them and that. Right, let's go see Leandra's sister Ikara. Or at least we'll get as close as we can, and then, you know, then we'll end this part as soon as we, you know, we can. Not as soon as we can, sorry, end the session as soon as, you know, it seems right. Avoid
Did you
Watcher.
see that? The shadow just sprang to life.
Strange magic indeed. Perhaps we're nearing the White Witch's lair.
Ooh, with a chest. Nice. What is in it? Not enough strength, Medora. Last time I checked, I didn't think telekinesis needed strength, but okay, whatever. There's the Void Watcher.
Ah, the Source Hunter. It is my greatest pleasure to announce to you that we Immaculates have captured the feared White Witch and quarantined her house of horrors. Yes, the greatest known threat to Rivellon has been neutralized, thanks in no small part to you, Source Hunter. Your activities in Sicil drove the snake to her den, and that's where we Immaculates sprang our trap.
So who are you?
I am a proud Immaculate, sworn to use my summoner's expertise in service of the goddess's one way and the greater good.
I need to question the White Witch about her involvement in the murder of Councillor Jake.
Ah, the High Counselor of Sicil. We mourned his tragic death. Yes, every Immaculate honors the memory of that noble man. Still, Source Hunter, I am sworn on my life to guard this quarantine. I serve a higher authority than yours, and will not waver in my duty.
There is no authority higher than that of my boot soles. Damn. If he's used that, it means I should use rock as well. Yes. Now that I use rock, he's going to use rock to beat me. No, he's bollocks. There we go.
I heard your kind could be particularly persuasive. Go on then, Source Hunter. But please tell no Immaculate I let you pass, or it will be my life.
I was just going to kill you, but you know what? You made my job a little easier.
What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead.
Probably.
Are you addressing us?
And mushroom talking mushroom. Now I've seen everything.
Oh, somehow we doubt that very much. Have you ever seen the Moth King's silver spoon? Nearly microscopic. No, Source Hunter. We do believe this life hasn't finished surprising you. Not in the least.
What do you know about this barrier?
It's quite a lovely sort of barrier, isn't it? Who doesn't enjoy a gentle, breezy motion against one's backside after all? Then again, we suspect it's been hoisted up by some not-so-savoury characters. And we happen to know just how to remove it. The only trouble is finding the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person to entrust such a secret to. Here's what we propose. We've a fresh batch of 3 brain teasers hot off our thinking caps. Perhaps, if you can answer them correctly, we might find you spirited enough to entrust with the barrier's deepest, darkest secrets. But it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes?
Maybe later, thanks.
As is your right.
Try that. Let's get a quick save.
Song of chaos and eternal night. Oh, son. It's quite a then again. Here's what. But it isn't.
I'm up for the
this
challenge.
Is better news than the Orc Queen misplacing her thumbscrew. But enough delays. Let us begin. Your first riddle begins thus. The ravenous brute tore down my chartreuse gown, ripped out my silken hair by its roots, wrenched my children from me, and fed me to the hogs. Who am I?
Huh.
What? No! The answer is clearly a pumpkin.
I gave my answer much thought and assure you I am correct.
I'll be damned if I trust the logic of a dead fool walking.
No, we'll do as I say.
Bravo, bravo, bravissimo! An ear of corn indeed. Can you imagine a sheep in a chartreuse gown? A pumpkin with silken hair? The fantasies of a fool. Now, on to our second riddle. And this one's sure to stump you. I cannot lie, I cannot lay, but only lie. Who am I?
So I cannot lie, I cannot lay, but only lie. Who am I? Fuck, I hate riddles. I'm so bad at them. A stone?
Mad? The answer is a politician.
Alright, we'll do it your way.
Alright, we'll do it your way.
Ha! We knew we weren't to be bested.
No. Fuck you. I'm getting those riddles. Purely because, you know, I want to know the answers to them more than anything.
Are you so desperate for... Oh, it's quite then again. Here's but. It isn't... This is the
That's right.
Bravo! I cannot lie.
Are you mad? The answer is a... I'd hardly insist if I wasn't certain I'd selected the right answer.
Mate, you never select the right answers.
No, we'll do as...
You've done it again! I'm thrilled. I'm amazed. I'm liable to present the very last riddle. This one will blow you out of your stockings, so hold on tight. I've a neck as long as twice the width of a toad's tail, as many eyes as half the number of seasons per annum. I'm known to cause hurricanes in the Far East merely by taking off 2 minutes too late. Who am I?
So the neck as long as twice the width of a toad's tail, has eyes as many as half the number of seasons per annum, so that's 2 eyes. To cause hurricanes in the Far East merely by taking off 2 minutes too late. What the fuck is a weather vane? Or weather vane? It's definitely not that. Butterfly?
I'd hardly insist if I wasn't certain I had selected the right answer.
Come on, Scarlet. You know you're gonna lose to me. Oh, fuck you. You might actually win this one. There we go.
No, we'll do as I say.
Ooh, very good, very good. The last person who tried to solve that riddle puffed away in a small impish huff, mumbling about space-time. But not you. You stuck it out until the very end, you crafty little so-and-so. Sir, what would you like to know?
What do you know about this barrier?
One thing we know for certain. This barrier doesn't belong here. The wizard Maradino knew as much when he started poking around here. He developed a spell to remove it, but his fancy was caught elsewhere before he bothered to implement it. Down the spell dropped, and up we scooped it. Unfortunately, we aren't quite human enough to get it to work. But you've proven yourself just the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we'd love to entrust such a secret to.
What do you know about the White Witch?
We thought you'd never ask. What would you like to know?
Who is she exactly?
Some call her the Guardian of Lucula. And by our estimations, she's more than earned the title. She's a healing witch, concerned mostly with the safety of the living souls, animals and plants alike, of this forest. And she's been here since even before our great-great-great-great-grandmother, Francisca Toadstool the 44th, can recall. We've long lodged adjacent to her little cabin, and she used to greet us with a "How do you do?" every morning. We do hope she's not entangled in anything unsavory. What a shame it'd be if someone with a penchant for heavy-handed hoe-wielding moved in.
Do you know anything about the White Witch's involvement in the murder of the Councillor Jake?
Murder? That doesn't sound like her at all, no. Much more interested in patching things up than tearing them down, that one. Then again, it's hard to tell on what stalk a person truly stands until you've seen them at the end of their rope. Isn't that so? We suppose if someone held a sword to our cats, we'd fight them with every last spore we had.
So where is the White Witch?
Somewhere in her cabin, as far as we know. The last we saw her, she and her apprentice Almina were rushing inside, whispering to one another. They seemed rather anxious. Perhaps they knew that those Immaculates were on their trail. A group of them followed some time after and erected the barrier around the cabin. We haven't seen the White Witch or Almina since.
I'll take my leave. So guys, in the next part we will, we'll try and open this up. So, I'll be seeing you guys then. Thank you guys for coming out watching live. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Divinity Original Sin 2. No, just Original Sin, not the second one, the first one. You get me.